Alright, on today's video, we are going to be talking about this. And you might be asking yourself, what is that? Let's find out. So this is the Caldwell Brass Retriever, and this is the box it comes in. And as you can see, mine looks like it's been through a war. Thanks, Amazon. So your next question is, well, why do I have this? Well, if you've been subscribed to my channel for any length of time, you know that I am a reloader. And at the end of a long day at the range after filming, the last thing I want to do is get down on my hands and knees and pick up my brass. Now, I'm 50 years old, and I've been digging trenches and excavating pretty much 3/4 of my life, and my knees are pretty much shot, so I was just looking at something to get to make my life a little easier when I pick up brass. But this definitely does not work as well as I thought it would, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But let me explain to you how this works. So, this spins. And as you can see, it's got these wires and they kind of open up. So when you are rolling this on the ground over your brass, it will grab it and kind of kick it to the inside of this. The other cool thing about this is that it has a telescopic handle. So you just turn this and it will extend out, and you can turn it again. And as you can see, it's pretty long, and me being 6'3", I still don't have to bend over to use this because the handle on this is plenty long enough. So that is one of the few pros about this. Now, when you get this brass retriever, it will also come with this hook thing that hooks right onto a 5-gallon bucket. And then you take this when it's got brass in it, and you kind of just go up and down on that, and what it basically does, it opens this up and it allows the brass to fall in your bucket. But I found it to be more of a pain in the butt than it was worth. So for me, the easiest thing to do was, after I got 15, 20 pieces of brass in here, I would just hold it over top of the bucket and just kind of do this and let the brass fall out. So this is where my complaining starts now with this tool, because it's not very good. And I kind of had a feeling that it wasn't going to work very well. So let me explain. So the majority of all the shooting I do is normally at two different ranges. I'm either at the Crawford County Sportsman's Club or I'm at the range on Route 4. And both of those ranges, I'm shooting in the gravel. Now, this does work. It will pick up the brass. Doesn't pick it up as fast as I would like it to, but it works pretty well. But the downside is it's also going to pick up all of the gravel at the same time. You get your brass, but you also get the gravel, and then you're taking your retriever and you're dumping all of your brass into your 5-gallon bucket, but you're also dumping the gravel in there also. So when you get home to sort your brass out, well, you're going to be sorting out gravel as well. Now, the next thing is, if you are at a range and your brass is flying into the grass, well, it works even worse in the grass than it does on the gravel, as you can see. Now, it will pick up the brass, and it would probably work a little better in very short grass. And as you can see, my yard needs mowed. It's been about 5 days since I mowed it, and it's raining a lot, and the sun is starting to shine, so it's growing very fast. But normally, at the ranges that I shoot at, the grass is always a little longer anyway than it is right now in my backyard, and this thing just does not work when it comes to picking up the brass in the grass. Hey, that rhymes. But it's not all doom and gloom, because this thing actually works really well on concrete. So if you're at an indoor range or you're shooting in a bay that has a concrete floor, well, that's when this thing starts to shine. And as you can see, it works pretty good. I threw some brass on the floor in my reloading room and started to pick it up. Now, with that being said, the next problem with this is after it gets about 15 or 20 pieces of brass in it, well, it starts to throw them out. So it's picking up some of the brass while it's kicking out some of the brass that you already picked up, and that kind of sucks. So once you get about 15 or 20 pieces of brass in this, the best thing to do is dump it out and go back and start picking up some brass again. You are not going to get this thing completely full. It's going to be kicking pieces of brass back out as fast as they go in. So I normally like to stay pretty positive with my reviews, give you all the pluses and the minuses, but this thing's got a lot more minuses than it does pluses. Now, this isn't a hit piece against Caldwell. I am a big fan of Caldwell products. You guys have seen the Caldwell turret shooting rest on my channel. I use it every time I go to the range when I'm shooting a rifle, and it's just a great product. But every now and then Caldwell kind of puts out a product that's not so good. Chronograph. And this is another one of those products that's just not really good from Caldwell. It will work if you want to use it on concrete, and it will work if you want to use it on gravel. Just keep in mind you're going to be picking up a lot of gravel, and you're going to be sorting a lot of brass when you get home out of the gravel. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I do recommend it or I don't recommend it, because I'm going to continue to use it even though it doesn't work very well. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.